All right, art students, I am back after a long hiatus of trying to do other things. I have come back to YouTube. So today I'm going to do a female. I said I was going to start doing females, regardless of YouTube trying to demonetize me or whatever. I'm going to do some females. So yeah, let's get to drawing some females. So of course the first thing is this is going to be kind of a flying, floating kind of pose. So the first thing again is have the position in your head first, roughly. So as I said, it's going to be kind of a flying, floating type of pose. So first of all, you always start out with your torso. You kind of figure how big your picture is going to be. So you start out with your torso, and remembering women usually tend to have longer legs. So I've got this leaning this way just a little bit. It shouldn't be too long. And then I want to get my center line and my shoulders. I want to tip the shoulders just a little bit. So it's not going to be a center, it's going to be more on the side. So if I do my mountain here, can you see? Because it's kind of hard for me to see using a pencil. I forgot that I was using a regular pencil. I just had it in my hand. And then my curve right there. So that tells you where it goes on the side. So then I'm going to put a delt here. And another delt back here. This is going to be, remember this is going to be a woman, so you don't want to have this too wide like a guy. So this is going to be the hard part, is going to be the hips. And usually for the guy, I'll put the tuna can right here. I'll just put the little waist right here. But a lot of times for the women, I don't. I just kind of like leave it invisible. And then I put the hips where I kind of want the hips to go. And then just kind of hope that it all works out. So we'll put it here, and you want that house is going to come out more, not straight up and down like the regular upside down house. So I don't want this too far away. I might have to bring it up. We'll see when I slap the legs on there. But yeah. And you want to kind of make it a little wider for the female anyway. And then maybe down, we'll see. So let me throw one leg here just because. So, and that's just an oval. And it depends on how the angle of the leg, if the leg is coming down or if the leg is going up, wherever you see the knee. So I'll do my oval where I want it. And then I will, right at the end, my knee is going to be like right here. That tells me what how much of an angle this is facing toward me. About that, because I can always lengthen it a little bit more or shorten it by just putting like the back circle and then the front circle right here, and then just kind of make it wider and narrower like a funnel. But I'm going to keep the knee right there for the time being, unless I decide to change it a little bit more. So this is going to come around. This is going to come around, and then I'm going to see just a little bit of the other part of the leg. So just like a half circle here. And the foot, the half circle for the calf, maybe a little bit of the, what is that bottom part of the leg called? And then the foot. And I'm going to bring the foot in instead of out or straight down. And I might change all of it later. I might bring this foot back a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. Probably will. It's really hard for me to see with this pencil again. The circle for the calf, the shin, I believe it's called, the shin. And then let me throw this other leg here, out here. This is just another oval. That's why I always say master your shapes. The hard part is not to make it too long or too short. And that's why, again, I always say stop and walk away from your drawing. Comes up here, and then it's going to be the hips, and then it's going to be the stomach. I don't know if it's going to be too long or not. It doesn't look too bad in the monitor. Now, I did a rough sketch of this earlier, and I had the leg coming like straight down, like she's like kind of like flying up. So what I do is go straight down in and then back out like this. But then I said to myself, it almost kind of looks like she is in a run, which could be used for a run position. I guess it all depends on the way you point the foot. That has a lot to do with telling what kind of what the position is doing, and center line down the knee down here, and you can kind of like find out where the center of the foot is to a degree. But then I changed that. I didn't really like the rough sketch I did, so I changed that and I bent the leg in, and you can use it either way. Let me do some arms. Let me just put kind of the arms out real quick, which is just another oval. Remember my arm video? It's just an oval and a triangle. Triangle, yeah, pointing triangle. That's it, that's your arms. And because this arm is going to be kind of facing you, it's not going to be as long. Like that, and the other one will probably be the same. And then I'll kind of slim it down a little bit. This is why you don't draw dark. It's why I tell people don't draw, don't try to draw perfect right off the bat. Rough sketch, rough loose sketch. And then once you get that position the way you want it, you can change it. And I'm telling you guys, it's hard for me to see with my light, the reflection of my light. And one way you can make the body a little smaller is by making the head a little bigger. If I did a tiny head, then that head would make that body look big. So if I did like a head like that, it could almost be a man with nice hips. But you just make the head bigger for a woman, and that reduces the size of the shoulder, size of the shoulders, and then reduces her body. But once you get your rough sketch, you don't want to make the head too big, just to, you know. Once you get your position right, the head may be a little too big, that leg may be a little too short. You can lengthen it. But as I was saying, I bent it. You can do this. I did this. And I have another video on taking one position and making several positions out of that one position. And it's usually basically the arms and your legs. You change your arms and your legs around. As long as that torso is right, then you're pretty good. You're pretty good as far as position. I could have just covered that up in my hand versus erasing it. So it changes the position. And as I say, the foot, if I put the foot like on the ground, it would kind of look like she was running and she stopped. But by bringing it down and kind of curving it in, you give it that flying position. Now, I don't know if I want to keep it straight. If I want to bend it, I could bend it in the middle. I could drop this leg a little bit more, bring it out a little bit more. So I can bring these arms straight, go back, however. So that changes your positions that you draw. So if you start drawing something, like if you copy a picture, you like, oh, I like that position, and you start drawing it, and it doesn't really come out right, just change it a little bit. Make it yours. Change that arm, change that leg or the position a little bit. And I say, make it yours. And I'm kind of staring at it in the monitor. If I want to keep it that way, if I want to straighten it out a little bit more. You know, one thing, this is going to be in front. This is going to come from the back. I don't want to get it thick like a man. So the knee is going to be right here. This is going to be that center line for the leg and that foot. Kind of like she's floating. And then you just play with the curves of the legs and the curves of the hips. That's the hard part for drawing the female. Just getting those hips right. So this is going to come in, it's going to go up like this and around. That's why I say I may bring that leg out just a little bit more. that angle. Let's see if the knee was here. So this is going to come way up here, and this is going to go right here, and that's why my leg is looking really short, because of that. So I'm going to leave that for now, just because. And then because I did that, I might have to bring this circle here, which is the calf, tucks under, and maybe have a little bit of the shin. Is that the shin? Part of the calf? I guess it's the shin. So staring at the monitor, because when I look at the monitor, which is over here, it looks different from staring at the paper. That's why you should always, once you get something, if you see something like just the faint trace of something not being right, then number one, walk away. Number two, what you can do is turn it upside down. As I said, just for a few seconds, and then just look at it again, and you'll say, "Oh, okay, you know, that's not quite right." So the neck, the shoulders are not going to round out like that mountain, like the males. The neck is going to come down. It's kind of like a ski slope jump, like you ski slope jump. This is going to be more squarer, and the arms are going to be thinner. Man, I'm telling you, it's hard to see. I don't want to switch to a red pencil, but I may have to. All right, so drawing the breasts, it's just going to be right just above the little mountain here, and that's going to come in because she's still going to have her obliques as well. So let's get rid of some of this lat. And I'm going to bring that in once I get the breasts. So I'm going to come here. So basically, you're going to do the upside down heart again. And it depends on the size of the breast. So I usually start at the bottom of my heart somewhere here, right up under the neck or the chin. But because her chin is going to be down, I might bring it up again and just do your heart. Upside down heart. As I say, it depends on the size of the breast. So once you pass this line here, your side line, this comes up and connects to the delt. And then you can actually bring it down. Again, depends on the size of the breast, the roundness. Down a little lower. And then you have this one that curves up, and that one there. And this one's going to go up kind of and stop because you're going to have your shoulder right here. And I may have to go red because now that I have so many lines, it's a lot of glare from this pencil. If I can even find my red pencil, I might have to break out a new one. So my blue, maybe I can try my blue. Maybe it'll no, that's still, there's a lot of glare over top of that lead pencil. You can't see it, I can see it. So because she's leaning a little bit, I'm gonna bring the collarbone down just a bit. But see, if you dress her, a lot of this won't really matter. So because of that, I gotta get a red pencil because I'm gonna be doing her neck. See if I've got a small one on the side here. I do, with no eraser. I guess the fact that my glasses could be a little cleaner. So I'm gonna bring the neck in. She's gonna have a small neck. Then the shoulder's gonna come around. Make that kind of a squared off. And then this is gonna be there. And you will see just a little bit of like separation that goes from here and there, because this is like a drop off point. The arm is going to come from under there. Usually get that point on there, and then turn that there. The fist is going to be more of a block, like that. The thumb is going to come over. And then there's the palm. And of course you have your knuckles. And that's going to go in. It's not going to go like a straight square. Since I can erase it, it's not going to be straight like that. Well, basically this is kind of like that. And you have your thumb. It comes in, just shapes. Comes down, and then your palm. But this is not going to be square. It comes in. It goes in at an angle like that for a more powerful type of fist. So you have your fingers bend right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They bend and they go in under here like that. So you can have your knuckles like that. And this one tucks in, and then you have your other half of the palm. And you can put your other part of your thumb, because your thumb does bend. You have those like two pieces, the 1, 2, and then it connects into that. So it depends on the angle and how big it is, how big the drawing is. And another thing is this finger is going to be, the knuckle is going to be the highest. This finger here, it doesn't really line up with the rest of these because it usually sticks up a little bit more. I'm more exaggerating it, but it doesn't come all the way down. When you just relax that fist, that finger, I guess maybe because the thumb is pushing on it, it's going to bring that one finger up a little higher. But that's when you get into more detail. So basically you're going to see this here, and then you're going to see the rest tucked down. But that's later in life, when you start to draw really serious stuff. But for something so small, but I mean, it's good to know. It's good to know just because it's good to know. So get this down, bring her waist. Put that right there, and then you're gonna curve that leg around. So this is gonna come here in, actually, like that. Then we have this, and then the foot. A little space between the legs. From this angle, you're gonna see just a little bit of the cheeks, the cheekbones, the cheeks. Curve in and back. So this is what I was gonna do. The bone is gonna come out and then in like that. So this is where this will come around like that. So and with women, I usually don't do too much of a straight abs. I'll do just, a few lines to show that she's not fat. I won't do the 6-pack. So, okay, the breasts. And then this is actually going to sit on that rib cage right here. And it's going to come up there. It's kind of like if you think of a water balloon, curve in. If you think of water balloon is soft and it's shaped like this. Let's just draw the whole water balloon. But if I set it on a table, it's going to be more like this, because it is, the water is in there. It's going to be flattened out. So the rib cage, because the rib cage is at this angle. So if I put a water balloon on something that was slanted, it would be more like this. And that's why the breasts are shaped like this on the side. When you start doing a 3/4 kind of view, it's going to be shaped like that. So you'd have your other breast over here. So this is going to come down, and that's going to be your rib cage bone right here. So yeah, just remember that when you set it on that flat surface, it's going to flatten out right here, because it is sitting on those ribs, those bones there. Yeah. This is why I did it in pencil, because I hate to mess up my sheet, what do you call this? The final sheet drawing. If I had done it in red pencil, none of this would have came off. So, yeah. Body-wise, it's not too bad. This is something, like I said, you always walk away from it, and then you got your hip here, it curves in, and then your leg curves out. It's probably the highest point right here, and then it goes in. Knee, and then it kind of curves in a little bit, sucks in. And then you have your calf. Your calf is going to be kind of high, and then I think I'll cut it like right there. As I said, you could have changed the legs. So if you draw this first, if you draw just this part first, just try different positions of the legs and the arms, and then see what you have. Drawing that kind of dark. It could be just a little bigger, but in the inking process. Bring this out a little bit more, because it has to kind of go around. Like if she had the swimsuit piece on, it would be like that. So this crotch has to kind of almost be in line with that, but it does come up here. Initially comes up and connects, and you have this little side piece right here anyway. So, you know, because that's if you wear the, what is it, like the bikini kind of cut bathing suits, it goes on that hip, right, comes off of that hip and goes down into there, and you have all this open, all this thigh open right there. So yeah, I'll just leave that just for the young viewers. And the way they're like, YouTube won't be like, he's drawing naked women. And you have the rib, the bone from your hip. It's kind of like in here. So you have this dip right here because from the bone, and then you have, it comes in and then comes back out for the fatness of your legs or your thighs. Same thing here. When you bend your leg, you're gonna have that little bit of cut in that meat right there. If you even understood what I just said. So my neck is gonna come down. It's gonna come back to that point. That's why you have this little divot right here, and your neck connects to that, and then there's that sloping, and I need to change positions because I've got so much pencil right there. Sloping, and then your shoulder. And because I did have one higher than the other, the arm. Don't put too much curve other than this part of the arm for the female. Give her a little bit of bicep separation. Actually, this would come in, go all the way out. No, it would. So this would be all bicep. You might see a little bit of tricep under here. And then I have that head tilted a little bit. I may rechange that head to look forward. I don't know. Usually the flying position determines, or the head also determines what's going on with the position. If she's tilted, it's kind of like looking this way. Somebody could be coming. If she's looking at you, she could be just getting ready for a fight, powered up or something, or just floating. So I think I'm gonna just keep the head tilted to the side. And just kind of, since it's a female, I'll give it a point, a little more of a point. Bring that neck in, I can't really see because all the glare. Shift my position again. And then I'll keep that, not so much tilted over, but there. And then find your eyes and give it not so much of a point, but just round it off a little bit, and then bring this in, bring that in just a little bit. And you kind of have a perfect face. I was doing measurements, trying to find a way to measure just like the torso. If you use those measurements, you always get the perfect torso. So I was trying to figure out a way to use measurements to always get the perfect face, and I kind of think I got it. And when I'm 100% sure, I'll show you guys, and it's just using these and a few extra lines, and then you'll always get that perfect face. Because I noticed a lot of people when they draw faces, I can't do it because I just can't do it. Their faces will be crooked, like the chin will be like way up here, and for a front face, and people don't really see. And that's one of the things is like, I noticed beginning artists, they don't see that their lines are crooked. Some real beginning artists don't see that one arm is longer than the other arm. And it's just something that comes with practice over time. But especially the faces and the hands are what tells the story. You have to get those right. So I'm kind of working on a video to show people how to, as I say, do that perfect face. And you know, mine are not always perfect because I don't do enough faces. I stopped doing really just once I don't want to say stop doing comics, because I didn't stop doing comics. Once I slowed down with doing comics, it kind of messed me up facially. And that's one reason why I don't do faces, because I don't want you to try to copy the same face and you have that style and it's like, oh, that's like Brian's face all the time. So I want you to be able to put your own face in there, but I want to give you the measuring lines, guidelines, measuring lines, so that you will know where everything goes, and then you can put your own face in there. So I think that's going to be it for this. I mean, I can dress it, and I probably will dress it, but I haven't finished because everything that I do, I want to actually use it for my next drawing book. So I don't know. I want to ink everything that I have drawn and then put it in the book. But I don't know if I want to dress them or not. I may do the copy of this one and then ink that one. I'll do a copy of this one and probably ink this one, since I can erase it, and then put clothes on it. But one of the two. So I haven't really quite figured out 100% how I want to do that, but I want these to go in the next drawing book. So hopefully that wasn't too fast. I'll give it a little less stomach, give it a little more waist, and that you could pick it up. You were able to pick up what I was doing, but I'm going to probably do a few more women before I get back to the men. And yeah, I'm back, and I'll show you some things that I ended up purchasing later when it comes. It was a kind of like one of those, what do you call those, when you get it real quick, you don't really think about it. But yeah, anyway, that comes later. So that's gonna be it for this video. It's just 28 minutes. Get out of here. You did a good job, Brian. So yeah, I might do a little couple extra touch-ups, and do that hand later. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. And yeah, that's it. No rambling. See you guys in the next video. And once I get all these things inked and so forth, I'll do extra videos on that to show you the final pieces, because I have a lot that I need to be working on. All right, so that's it for this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.